and we just left the Dallas org. We decided I came up here to visit my son who's in school. And we went over there to check it out because I've never been inside of an actual org, because I started protesting the week before the Austin org even opened. So I thought I was going to be able to live stream with this phone, like this, from this camera and this screen, and I set it up. And then when I went to go live, it didn't work. So I I can video record from this screen. So I did that. I had that set up. So when you see this, it looks like a purse. So they had no idea that this was my phone. But while we were sitting there listening to the first video, the only thing we were going to listen to, it went off at some point. So I don't know how much actual video I got of our visit. I will post that later. What I'm going to do right now is, so my son was like all real calm while we were sitting there. Hey, Scooter Mom. We get in the car. You have to remember, my son spent 4.5 years in the Navy. He came out. We were in the car, and he
That wasn't.
went off about a lot of stuff. So since I couldn't live stream inside, we'll do a quick interview with my son on his thoughts. He doesn't follow what I'm doing as much as some of you do. So he doesn't know a lot of the specifics. So just from his own, you know, experience and watching that video, it was L. Ron Hubbard's history, from boyhood to writing Scientology. And we all know there's a lot of exaggeration. And I told him that. I started naming all the stuff off. And he said, yeah, I already figured that out. So we're going to talk to Chris now. So let's turn this around. This is my son, Chris, who went in with me. And everybody there was really nice. We didn't want to give anybody a hard time. That's not why we were there.
Yeah.
That place is huge. And so we went upstairs to the booths. And yeah, they gave us the pamphlet.
This is the building and number that we went to.
Yeah.
And then this is the second floor. This is the second floor.
Yeah, we had to go upstairs in an elevator to get there.
There's this timeline here, of a system in order that they wanted us to intake their information.
Yeah, it's numbered.
And each one of these little half circle tan things is a seat.
Yeah, it's like a kiosk area, or there's a video.
These little info booths, and each one of the booths is a particular subject. And and we started at the first spot, which is number 1, L. Ron Hubbard, founder. And the people were nice, but
they're supposed to be.
So we sat down, and I was like, I already didn't want to go in there. I felt dirty going in there because I was raised Christian, so
yeah,
just sitting in another religion just felt weird to me. And
but you got a little interested at first when we went in.
Yeah, well, when we went in, I guess that was before we went in. I was a little nervous because I didn't know what to expect. But when we went in and saw that it wasn't very many people,
yeah, it wasn't.
It was completely open. I was like, it was all right. Okay, I'll see what they got going on. And I don't know too much about Scientology except for what my mom's told me, except like the things like the bad things they're doing, like the trafficking and the modern day slavery. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, so I know that part already. But like I didn't know what they were about. Like with other religions, you know what they're about. Like Christianity, we're about Jesus and God and all that stuff.
And they won't tell you. If you ask them, they'll say read a book. They won't tell you.
Yeah, so I wanted to know what they were about. Just to know. Like
Scooter Mom says, "Don't worry, Chris. It's not a religion."
Yeah. So we're sitting down. We're watching this really cool big screen about L. Ron Hubbard, and so to give you a perspective, I was in Boy Scouts, and I didn't make it to Eagle Scout. I made it to Life Scout, which is right before Eagle, because when you turn 18, you have to get out of Boy Scouts. There's an age cap for it. So I hit 18 before I could make Eagle Scout. But I have been awarded the highest honor in Boy Scouts, which is the Order of the Arrow. It's like the cool like secret society inside of Boy Scouts. And there's like a huge ceremony, and not everybody gets to be in the Order of the Arrow. So like as far as decoration is concerned, like I was a decorated scout. And then fast forward, I went in the Navy. And in boot camp, there's a portion of boot camp where we have to take like naval history. We have to learn about our history and where the Navy comes from, you know, when it was founded and all that kind of stuff. And in the story of this is just number one. There are 17 info booths of different stuff. There's L. Ron Hubbard, there's Dianetics, Scientology, Purification Program, Scientology Volunteer Ministers, Scientology Missions and Groups,
It's
World
all
Institute,
front, too.
Scientology Around the World, International, The Way of Happiness, Applied Scholastics?
Yeah.
Okay. The Criminon, Narcanon, Foundation for the Drug-Free World, United for Human Rights, like
Those
there's
are
a few
all
more.
front groups that don't actually do
There's
anything.
a few more, and we didn't even get to that because just the story of Elron is a bunch of BS about how in like 1920s he traveled around the world and went to all these different like what were they, like indigenous tribes and stuff.
Yeah.
And
He did the Pacific,
places that
Asia.
weren't even that people didn't even know about back then. People's like indigenous peoples who weren't discovered yet. This dude, they're saying that he's seen. On top of that he traveled around the world in 10 years back in 1920. Okay. He was the youngest Eagle Scout.
Yeah, remember what you said about that? You would have heard that if that was real.
Exactly.
And
I'm
the
a
Boy
decorated scout. We would have heard about him being the youngest Boy Scout ever. We would have heard about that.
Nobody in Scientology
On
ever
top of
looks
that,
at
in the Navy, with naval knowledge, it says that he was I don't know, he became some type of glider pilot by himself, which is cool, I guess. Then in
I think
World
he
War II,
actually did that. That was before the Navy.
like that part's cool because nobody was doing gliders back then. But then it says in World War II they outsourced captains to captain our naval vessels in Pearl Harbor, and that he was as a lieutenant he captained a naval ship. No, he didn't.
And he had some sort of, I can't remember
I'm
the
sorry,
details, some
but
sort of
you do not
special-
captain a naval vessel as a lieutenant. You don't. You just don't. I don't care how desperate they are for captains. You do not captain a naval vessel as a lieutenant.
I think you
And
can,
then
the
come to find
smaller
out, he
patrol
wasn't
boat.
even at Pearl Harbor. He only
No, he wasn't.
He captained a very small vessel
in the Boston Harbor.
The Boston Harbor, yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't even say any of that in here. In the story, he was in Pearl Harbor and fucking fighting off the Japanese and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was my
Yeah,
experience. When we left, like I left before the end of that video. Mom finished it, but then we walked out. We went outside, and we were quiet going through the building. And when we got into the car, I was like, "This." I started flying off the handle because I was like, the dude's whole life is fabricated.
And I didn't even have to tell him that. Just him watching it as just a normal human being that knows a little bit could tell it was not plausible. Most of it was not plausible for one person to have accomplished that the rest of the world doesn't know about.
Like as how decorated he was and how awarded he was in every aspect of his entire life. Like I would have heard about him at some point.
Right. Nisa just came on. He's cute. Is he your husband? Sorry, Nisa. That's my son.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always say our kids are way prettier than we are. We don't know how that happened.
But
yeah.
But yeah,
he's got the scraggly beard going on there.
I'm doing the mountain man thing.
Yeah, he's been in school up here all by himself, so he hasn't had to shave or be presentable to anybody.
Well, I mean, even if I chose the beard.
I know. So anyway,
well,
yeah.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. I need to calm down.
I'll switch back around. He's been upset. And I didn't even.
Oh no, the other part was like the part that really angered me was the stuff that you told me about, the bad stuff behind the scenes.
Right.
And then it's there. I told her they're like a trapdoor spider.
Do you hear that?
They invite you in with this really cool story and smiling faces, and then they fucking.
That's a good analogy. Hobo beard. Yeah.
Hey.
Tell Chris. Yes, he's working on that. I actually just got him a kit the other day. So, get him to quit smoking. Yeah, I will.
I'm in transition.
Yeah, he's in transition. I guess to the good, from the scraggly to the good beard.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's been up here all by himself, not having to see anybody. He does not care right now. He's been in school. I came up to visit, and we have an appointment that we have to get to. But I literally, the org is 12 minutes from here where he's staying. It's like, it wasn't that long to get there. So he knows about the slave labor, and yeah, hun, my kids watched their Nana pass away from lung cancer, and both of them smoke, and I don't know why. I never have. But I'm working on, we got the daughter vaping right now, so hopefully that's a good transition. But yeah, I just got him a grooming. He came home last weekend, and I got him a beard kit for Christmas. I went ahead and just got it for him. Hobo dreads. See, I've noticed when people are starting to lose their hair, they start to grow the beards. So he's got his dad's hairline. That's the only thing. So, hey, Cher. So we just left the Dallas org. I finally got to go in one. They didn't know who I was. I tried to live stream inside. So I have this fold phone that looks like a purse. And I was able, so I can do things on this screen. And I thought I was going to be able to live stream from here, and I couldn't. So then I video recorded, and somewhere in there it went off. The screen timed out, so I don't even know how much I got. I will post it later. You can't see much. The lights were still very turned off. Like, they didn't... It's a big place. There was maybe 4 or 5 women in there. And, interesting note, none of them were in uniforms. They're all in civilian clothes. So that was interesting. But all we did was watch the intro video of L. Ron Hubbard if you just came in. And my son was A, in the Boy Scouts, and B, in the Navy. And I had to keep him calm till we got in the car. Because he started going off in the elevator. I'm like, there's cameras everywhere. Because, I don't want to give the people in there that much of a hard time, because I do understand, a lot of those people don't know any better. They've been indoctrinated. Maybe they do know better. I don't know. I can't blame the people in there for, because they've probably gone through some shit too. So I didn't want to go in there and give anybody a hard time. I just wanted to check it out. I didn't get to come up with when the rest of them came in. And it was very interesting because it looks it's a bit bigger than the Austin org. So I think they have more stations. I can't tell because I've only seen Austin from the windows. But like I said, I never even got a chance to go through all the lies in this history of L. Ron Hubbard. He already was like, oh, there's no way that guy did all that in one lifetime. Or in the time, and I didn't even know about some of this. He supposedly had some special Navy assignment, special agent for in the Navy, and I didn't even get to the point where he said he helped naval patients in the naval hospital in California when in actuality he was a patient himself, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him because he was a hypochondriac, and he had like 50 things wrong with him that he said. Yelling at the sheep doesn't help change the shepherd. Yeah, exactly. So I didn't want to go in there with, giving them any kind of hard time or anything like that. I wanted to check it out, see if they still. I can see why they don't have a lot of lights on. There's nobody in there. There was like 4 women. I think only 4. 3, 4. One was at the counter. One was showing us the right door. She took us upstairs, and there was a lady upstairs. There may have only been 3, and they were all in civilian clothes. I don't know if they're like volunteers or public. I don't know what's going on there, or if it's weird. I don't know. It was weird. They were nice, and they left us alone for the most part. They're all older too. They're all older women. I didn't see any young people. So I know when they go in the Austin org, I think they have, because it's a college, area right there, they're going to have younger faces there. They're going to be really talkative with you and stuff. They just kind of left us to our own devices. And, hey, Amy, oh, you know what? I couldn't tell. It's a little chilly, and I had they were wearing, the one lady had like a flannel long sleeve shirt on. So I don't think they did. Next time you observe, yeah, I did get some recording. So I video recorded from the front screen. But when I looked down, when we had sat down to watch the video and I checked, the screen had timed out and kicked me out of the video. So I should have at least gotten when we went in and was talking to people. I think I got all of that. Let me find out. Let me see how long the video is. I haven't even checked. So we got back, and because we have somewhere we have to go. So let's see how long that video is. It's about 3 minutes, I think. So 3 minutes would have got us to the elevator. Maybe upstairs. So, yeah. I have 2, 3. So I'll post it. You can't see much because I had it turned towards me, so it's mostly audio. So I'll post it after I get a chance to look at it. But yeah, I was actually surprised at how upset he was, because my kids haven't been that interested in what I'm doing. But he's listened a little more than the daughters.
It's because, like, if you're gonna invite people in, you're gonna start off with the lie first, bro?
They don't expect you to check, because they don't. They don't expect you to go. Well, back when all this started, that's what they can't fight, is the internet and social media. Before that, you had no way to check that stuff. If you guys think about that, it's only been the last 15 or so years that we have access to this information, and we can double check what he said, and he's gone now. So back when he was telling these stories, there was no real way to check out his story and find out if we might have been able to disprove one thing here or one thing there, but all of the stuff that he has in there, oh my gosh, it's just wild. Share. Yeah, I should have probably tried to go live on my phone. Like, I just figured that out last night. I'm like, oh, maybe I can, because I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. So I'm like, oh, I figured out last night. I thought I could go live on here. But when I hit the live button, something didn't work. So, like I said, I got about 3 minutes of video of when we first got in there. And that's it. Oh, man. There's got to be somewhere where that video is. The intro video. If I can find that intro video online, I'll post that too, because wow. And it's black and white. If I remember, a lot of it's black and white. And the pictures, those had to be edited. They had to be edited. It was, very trippy. Like I said, it's a beautiful building, but what was weird is we had to go in this weird side door. The main doors of, this main front part, you can't go in, and there's boxes piled in there, and it's a glass, and you see it looks like the place is closed. if I hadn't known any better and kept driving, and I ended up going in like a side door, so there was the main door. You can't go in there. There's boxes. You go to the second door. It's locked. You go to this third really side door and go in there and down this hall to the lobby. I'm like, that's weird. Why wouldn't you want people to come in the grand entrance? So that was kind of strange. They're in a really beautiful location though. No curb appeal. There's curb appeal. It's set in a really nice. My son's never been over that way. It's on the other side of the highway, and he's over here going to school and everything. And we get over there, and it's a beautiful area. It's a very higher priced area, big houses, and it's set back in some trees, but it's not that far from the freeway. So, but you drive up. We had a hard time trying to find out how to get in there. The maps was not correct, but it's all tree lined. But around it is like industrial parks and apartments. So, but there was a lot of cars there for only seeing 3 people. So maybe there was people in courses. It's possible they were in rooms that we couldn't see. We were taken to the second floor where all these kiosks are. So downstairs or upstairs or somewhere they probably had course rooms. So um yeah, that was it. I thought I was gonna have some interest. I thought I was gonna be able to live stream in there for you guys. That's what I was talking about last night. But I didn't want to give out what I was doing just in case. So, but it was interesting. Everything I learned, every new thing I learned about Scientology, just is food for thought. Gives me more of an understanding of things. Everybody talks about the orgs. I've never been in one, so now I have. I kind of get it's kind of it was pretty, but it was underwhelming as like a church. Going into other churches, you kind of always feel something in there. This was just very cold and just, you know, that kind of thing. No curb, cute. Share. YouTube on YouTube. Yeah, you could say. Next time, yeah, just, yeah. Well, you said that already. Like I said, I did, so at least Texas isn't too swear. Yeah. So I will check on that before I post this. But Hitzel already posted this. She had her phone in her purse. And so I had this on. So I thought I was going to be all cool because this is like a purse. And so I had it turned this way for a while and I was going to turn it around. But they were kind of right with us for a while. And by the time I had a chance to turn it around, the screen had timed out. So, hey, Adam. Orcs have no warm feeling. Yeah, it really didn't. It really didn't. So, okay. Yeah. So, they all got to come up one day, and I had some other things going on, then I didn't get to come up with them. So, I just wanted to be able to go in one before they know who I am and just kind of get a feel for it and drug my son along. It was kind of more interesting with him because he had more insight into the naval stuff and the Boy Scout stuff that I didn't even know. And he's like, yeah, if you're in Boy Scouts and there's this guy that was awarded the youngest Eagle Scout, you would hear about it. It would be in Boy Scout history. Hey, Irish. And then he did all these things in the Navy, and you don't find out about this in Naval Basic Training. Yeah, and don't forget, when he was doing the black magic, he told everybody else that he was working for the CIA to close them down. But in reality, he was doing it with Jack Parsons, doing that black magic stuff. It's just interesting how somebody can just fabricate so much stuff. I told Chris, I said he failed at everything he ever tried to do. He failed getting into the Naval Academy. He failed at so many things because I haven't had a lot of time to talk to him on the way home because it was only right across the street. So I just tried to I said, but the only thing he's good at was the stuff that made him successful in starting Scientology. So that's just, I don't know. I don't have too many words on that. I'm going to go. I didn't want to be on here too long. So obviously I won't be in the Austin org later today because I'll be driving home. It's about 3 hours to get home from here. So I'm already wore out. So I will see you guys. Yeah, good at scamming. Yeah, totally good at scamming. Was a Smeagol scout. All right, tomorrow night, Saturday night chat. I'll be on for that. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a good weekend. Bye, y'all. Yeah, he did no face. Yeah, that's what we're all here about. We're here to try to do something about it. So we can just hope and keep working. See y'all later.